This movie was insane. First off, there's not going to be any spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen Eddington yet, that is okay. Imagine living in a super small town during the height of COVID. That is basically where Eddington starts, but it ends in a completely different place. And without further ado, let's get into my review. In this video, I'm going to break down what I liked, what I didn't like, and who I would want to play if I was in this movie. I didn't go into this movie really with any sort of expectations. I didn't really have any sort of feelings about what this movie was. But when I tell you I was engaged the entire movie. This movie, I think what this movie does super, super well is if there's two ways that things can go, like the predictable way and then the unpredictable way, this movie is taking the path of the unpredictable every single time. As soon as you start to think you have the movie sort of figured out, you are quickly humbled with some crazy thing that happens. And Joaquin Phoenix is one of the best actors I think that is alive right now. This movie made me want to watch more of his stuff. He is one of the best and leads this film. He carries the film, and I think all the supporting actors around him sort of just had to step it up to meet him, and I think they did that wonderfully. And dude, like this movie, I think it really, like we all remember, I was kind of hesitant about this movie because of like just the topic of COVID and like, but man, this movie really highlights like what that time was like in a very beautiful and real, authentic way. And then also highlights just like social media and media consumption and how it affects people. And I think that is also kind of an underlying thing in the film. And when I tell you my jaw dropped like 10 times in this movie. Like this movie was so good. I have chills right now thinking about this movie. I saw it last night and like it is so good. It is another must watch. Like this movie is not getting, like, I think it's because like Superman's out and then Fantastic Four is about to be out, and like there's also just like a lot of like big blockbusters going on right now. But dude, this is a banger. This movie was fantastic. The acting was great. The story was great. The story is crazy. Like it has like humor. It doesn't really have a lot of humor. It has some humor and then just like drama and action and like just like real raw acting. And man, great story. Holy shit, dude. This movie is crazy. This movie's crazy. Bottom line, the foundation, the acting was top tier. You sort of start by following this homeless guy, and you kind of follow him throughout the movie. And dude, the actor who plays this guy is insane. Just so great. I think, like, I have seen these kinds of people in LA all the time, and it's like the way like certain characters are depicted and acted is just chef's kiss, like seriously. But the movie you're following Joe Cross, who is a sheriff in this small town, and this is during the height of COVID, and there's sort of, still a lot of people that maybe don't believe in the mask and the mandate and everything, and then there's people that are taking it very seriously. So that's sort of where the movie starts, but then everything else, it just blows up. Like it just, and you think it like, it's not just one blow up. Like it blows up and then it blows up and then it blows up and it just keeps just being like, and at the end you're just like, what just happened? Like, what is going on? This movie's crazy. This movie is really, really, really good. They also, the way that they highlighted, like, young kids, like Gen Z, like going through, like, people wanting to be socially active and, like, social justice and, like, the whole, like, They touch on the Black Lives Matter movement. They talk about like race a lot in the movie, and that's definitely like an underlying thing throughout. That's also very interesting and still super relevant, as I feel like it always will be. But dude, and like Joaquin Phoenix's character, like Joe Cross, like he's so good, and you feel for him, and it's also just because he's coming from a place of authenticity and true, like just like trueness to the character and what the character is going through and how he would react in certain situations. Like, he does a great job. Joaquin Phoenix is one of the best, and it just makes me want to watch more of his stuff. With most movies, there are some things that I still didn't like. Basically, like there was really only one thing that really I just didn't buy it, and it's kind of hard to talk about without spoiling, so I'm gonna do my best to talk about it without spoiling. But basically something happens, and it was very like obvious like what the next step should have been, but like they just sort of ignored like the reality of like what actually would have happened in that scenario, and sort of just kind of went a whole different direction. That again, I think helps with like the movie, but it wasn't really like, it didn't feel very real. It pulled me out of the story just a little bit. I'm just kind of like, all right, we all know like what should be happening, but we're all just gonna like pretend that something didn't happen, I guess, is my best way of like describing it without laying it out. But also the movie was a bit long. It's like 2.5 hours, and again, like there was no time where I was like, you know, it never felt like the movie was dragging, like ever, because of how engaging it was. But the movie is long. Like, it's a long watch. But again, like, I think it's well earned. And it's a long movie, but it is like, I was engaged the entire time. I was just like, this is insane. Yeah, I mean, those are really the only two things that I didn't like about the movie. Also, there were some characters that I feel like didn't really get enough explanation, specifically with Austin Butler's character. Like, there were just some sort of like, I feel like, I don't want to say loopholes, but just like loose ends that weren't tied up. But I think, again, like, it didn't take me out of it. I don't think it hurts the movie, but there were some loose ends that I just kind of was like, okay. But other than those couple things, dude, this movie was fantastic. I was so pleasantly surprised. I was not anticipating enjoying this movie as much as I did. Who would I cast myself as in this movie? I'm so glad you asked. I think in this movie I would love to play Mikey, who is the black cop in Joe Cross's unit. He's got like a small unit, and he's one of the cops. And the reason I would want to cast myself as that, those are the types of roles that I want to be cast in more, sort of like military type of like very like athletic, and those are sort of also the things that I've been working on myself. I'm working on getting myself to a certain physique to be cast in certain roles, and that is definitely like, this role is definitely one of those characters that I would love to play. I think he's got a great story. He's very like chill and like calm in the beginning of the movie, and then he kind of like goes through some things, and he's very different at the end of the movie. And yeah, so that's who I would want to play if I was in this movie. But the actor who played him did a fantastic job. But that is all I have for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.